Thank you for coming this evening. I'd like to especially thank Outlaws, the law school's gay, transgender, and allied student organization, for hosting tonight's event. And thanks for coming, Mom. Happy birthday. Tonight, we are here to ask, does disagreeing on one thing mean there's no agreeing on anything? This is an appeal to the better angels of our nature. Our position is that while most people have heartfelt opinions on the issue of whether gay and lesbian couples should be able to marry, we can also agree that most people deserve basic protections, including insurance, fair workplace and housing, and the ability to take care of each other. As Americans, we have a common culture that transcends our differences. We believe that each one of us is entitled to live according to the dictates of our own conscience. We believe the primary responsibility for our personal needs lies within ourselves, and when we cannot take care of ourselves, we must turn first to family and then to community. Government should be a last resort, never a first recourse. It is because we believe these things that we stand in support of the resolution that the Utah Legislature should pass the Common Ground Initiative. So let's talk about common ground. For most families, health insurance is only a viable option when it's provided from an employer as part of an employee benefits package. This is good for business. It increases retention and decreases the amount of sick leave that is used by employees taking care of an ill spouse or child. Unfortunately, most gay and transgender families are not able to be insured, even if they have a breadwinner who qualifies for insurance. Many plans cover a spouse and children, but most exclude a partner and their children. It doesn't make sense for an insured state employee to have a spouse and a child on Medicaid or receiving no health coverage at all. It doesn't help anyone. It just doesn't make sense. And while paying the doctor's bills is keeping families up at night, their bosses are losing sleep over whether or not they're able to keep their businesses open. When businesses need to trim the fat, they can't afford to cut the muscle. Every month, the Utah Labor Commission receives between 3 and 5 calls from people who have been fired in spite of being good employees, just because they are gay or transgender. In these cases, an employer has disregarded job performance and instead eliminated people because of who they are or who they love. Additionally, the emotional drain of fearing that you will lose your job as soon as your boss finds out who you really are or who you really love decreases productivity and increases the risk to the well-being of the employee. This is bad for business, but it is devastating for the people who have done their job only to find out performance doesn't matter. This doesn't do anybody any good. It just doesn't make sense. When it comes to taking care of the people we love, we all want to protect our families. Unfortunately, most of us don't prepare for death or disability until it's too late. Most Americans die without a will, and even more of us go to the hospital without bringing an advanced healthcare directive along. An advanced healthcare directive is a legal document that says who can make medical decisions for you if you can't speak for yourself. Now, as a matter of policy, IHC and the other companies that run the hospitals in Utah say patients can create guest lists for as many people as they'd like to visit. But they also have a policy that when those patients are in serious condition, the visitor policy is immediate family only. The result? Many times, gay and transgender partners are locked out at the most critical time in their families' lives. And even in those cases where a couple hires an attorney and takes advantage of every legal contract, they still can end up unprotected. In 2007, a lesbian was refused access here in Salt Lake City when she tried to join her partner, not for something serious, but for a prenatal checkup. When this happens, it's not good for anyone. It just doesn't make sense. And so we introduced the Common Ground Initiative. We offer the following solutions. First, a policy to allow state employees to insure a spouse, a partner, or other adult designee and their children. Second, a bill to prohibit employers from firing someone just because they're gay or transgender. Third, a bill allowing 2 people to declare each other as dependents for the purposes of hospital visitation, inheritance, and medical decision-making in those times of crisis. Finally, we unlock the courthouse gates for when a loved one is killed because of the negligence of another, such as in the drunk driving accidents. Initially, we also proposed a constitutional amendment that would make it clear that Amendment 3 is just about marriage. But in our search for common ground, we withdrew that proposal so that we could focus on areas where Utahns agree. That's it. That's the Common Ground Initiative. And we have found allies. When Utahns were asked last month if they would support or oppose providing state employees with insurance for a spouse, a partner, or another designated adult, 72% of Utahns supported making the change. And when asked whether we should change Utah's laws to stop employers from firing someone from their job just because they're gay or transgender, 61% of Utahns supported making the change. When asked about changing Utah's current housing law to stop evictions based on being transgender or gay, 56% of Utahns support making that change. And when asked, 83.5% of Utahns agreed that gay and lesbian couples should be provided some legal protections, such as hospital visitation, health insurance, and inheritance rights. And the people of Utah are not alone. Last August, and again in November, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints issued the following public statement. The Church's opposition to same-sex marriage neither constitutes nor condones any kind of hostility towards gays and lesbians. Even more, the Church does not object to rights for same-sex couples regarding hospitalization and medical care, fair housing and employment rights, or probate rights, so long as these do not infringe on the integrity of the traditional family or the constitutional rights of churches. Several other churches and organizations have joined the Common Ground Initiative, as have Mayor Becker of Salt Lake City, Mayor Caroon of Salt Lake County, and just last week, Governor John Huntsman. In 2006, President Obama said that there is a consensus between a majority of Americans who say, maybe some of us are comfortable with gay marriage and maybe some of us are not right now. But most of us do believe that gay couples should be able to visit each other in the hospital and share health care benefits and should be treated with dignity and have their privacy respected. Obama was echoing Lincoln when he mentioned the better angels of our nature. It was President Lincoln who reminded us that we are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though the passions may be strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. In spite of cooperation from a broad spectrum of officials, organizations, and the majority of Utahns, a few people have voiced objections to the Common Ground Initiative. The leaders of the Sutherland Institute, the Eagle Forum, and America Forever. The Sutherland Institute claims to defend sacred ground while contradicting Utah's religious leaders. The Eagle Forum claims to defend common sense while patronizing the majority of Utahns. Over and over, in every hearing on every bill of the Common Ground Initiative, the few voices repeated the same objection to each bill. They point to California, they point to Massachusetts, and they point to Connecticut and say, if you pass any of these, courts will force Utah to marry the gays. This is a false statement. When California, Massachusetts, and Connecticut gave marriage licenses to gay couples, there were no constitutional amendments to stop them in those states. In Utah, we have Amendment 3. In California, the moment they amended the Constitution, county clerks cut lesbian couples off of the marriage lines. In Utah, we already have Amendment 3. This slippery slope is no argument, and it belongs in a playground. So let me close with the truth. The truth is that people on the right side of this room have a lot in common with the people on the left side of this room. The truth is that when gay and transgender people talk about fair workplace laws, they don't want to hurt anyone. They just want to earn a living like everybody else. And the truth is that the bills in the Common Ground Initiative are not about giving anybody special rights. They're about taking care of each other. We all want to protect our families. We all want to keep our jobs. We all have hearts that stop when our children cry out, and we all have hope for tomorrow. And while we all have opinions on marriage, we have to decide whether disagreeing on one thing prevents us from agreeing on everything. Please, let's put aside our differences for tonight. We have all been called to find common ground.